What if I told you that one of the world's most celebrated Michelin Star chefs can't even see the food he creates? What if I told you that some of the most powerful flavors on earth came from a man who lives in complete darkness? This is the unbelievable story of the blind chef who shocked the entire world. Arden Cole was just 19 years old when the world around him faded into shadows and then disappeared entirely. A rare degenerative eye disease had stolen his vision forever. Doctors told him he would struggle to even walk on his own. Friends whispered that his dreams of becoming a chef were finished. Everyone believed his life would never be the same again. And they were right. It didn't stay the same. It became extraordinary. Because when others saw only darkness, Arden saw possibility. He whispered to himself, "I may have lost my sight, but I haven't lost my vision." Arden began to train himself in a way no culinary school could ever teach. He learned to feel the world around him. He memorized every corner of his tiny kitchen, every inch of countertop, every shelf. He touched each ingredient, learning its shape, its texture, its temperature. He learned to listen to the sound of butter as it melted in a hot pan, the distinct crackle of garlic hitting the oil, the subtle rhythm of a sauce that needed just one more second to come together. He learned to cook using smell, sound, touch, and pure intuition, until every sense except for sight became sharper than a chef's blade. This wasn't just cooking anymore. This was art, born from pure survival. At 28, Arden made a decision that everyone around him called insane. He found a dying restaurant, hidden away on a forgotten street corner, and decided to rent it. He had no investors, no support, and no belief from anyone else, except from himself. His friends warned him it was a terrible idea. Bankers rejected his loan applications. Other chefs in the city openly mocked him, but Arden simply said, "Let them doubt. I'll cook truth." He hired assistants to help him organize the space, not to cook for him, but to act as his eyes, making sure he didn't burn his hands or accidentally walk into shelves. In this kitchen, Arden began to create dishes that people described as mysterious, emotional, and unlike anything else on earth. But the critics, they weren't kind. The initial reviews were dismissive. "This is just a marketing stunt. A blind man can't possibly run a professional kitchen. It's a waste of time." But then one night, everything changed. A famous food critic walked in, quietly, without a reservation, and with no intention of being kind. He ordered Arden's signature tasting menu. He took one bite and paused. He took a second bite, and his expression softened. And after the third bite, something strange happened. Single tear rolled down his cheek. Because what he was tasting wasn't just food, it was the life story of a man who refused to give up, served on a plate. Arden had no idea who this customer was. He didn't care, he just cooked the way he always did, with his entire heart. The very next morning, that critic's review shook the entire nation. It read, "Chef Arden Cole may be blind, but he sees flavors the rest of us cannot." The public was skeptical. People didn't believe it, they had to see for themselves. Soon lines began to form around the block. A 3-hour wait became a 4-hour wait, then 6. Arden didn't become a celebrity overnight. He became a phenomenon. One evening, a man walked into the restaurant alone. There were no cameras, no staff with him, no hint of who he was. He ate quietly, thoughtfully, without a single reaction, and then he left. Arden didn't know it at the time, but that man was a Michelin inspector. Weeks passed. Arden kept on cooking, pouring his patience, precision, and soul into every single dish. Then one morning, an official-looking envelope arrived. His assistant opened it and read the letter aloud to the whole kitchen. "Congratulations! Your restaurant has been awarded 1 Michelin Star." A profound silence filled the room. Arden slowly reached out his hand, touching the edge of the letter as if to feel its reality. He then whispered, "Now they understand. You don't need eyes to see your purpose." Today, Arden Cole is more than just a chef. He trains young culinary students, blind, sighted, disabled, struggling, anyone who has a dream. He teaches them that cooking isn't about sight, it's about emotion, it's about soul. It's about telling a story with every single bite. His restaurant now has a 6-month waiting list. People come from all over the world, not just to eat, but to experience something much deeper. Because Arden proved a lesson the world desperately needed to hear. Your limitations don't define you. Your courage does. And so, the blind chef who once stood in complete darkness became the very man who taught the world how to see. If this story inspired you, please share it, because you never know who out there is just one powerful message away from changing their entire life. Thank you for watching.